We are starting with simultaneous equations, right? And simultaneous equations, we have different levels of questions. So we'll be solving different level of questions here. Now, in this first question is solve the simultaneous equations. If you see the first question, we have y is equal to x squared and y is equal to x plus 6. Both the equations are written in the form of in which y is the subject. So what we can do in this case, we can simply equate the values of y is equal both the values of y, right? So let's solve this first. Basic one. We have we can simply solve. We can write. We have y is equal to x squared, and we have y is equal to x plus 6. So we can simply equate both the values of y, and then we will be getting quadratic equation. Now you have to solve the quadratic equation. You have to show all the steps of quadratic equation. You are not supposed to use a calculator for finding out this. You can check your answer with the help of calculator, but all the steps are necessary to do here. Okay, so we have x squared minus x minus 6. If we solve it by middle term breaking, then we will be having minus 6, it will be 3 2s are 6, and we can take here the factors minus 3x and plus 2x. Minus 6 is equal to 0. Then x is common, and x minus 3 plus 2x minus 3 is equal to 0. So we have x plus 2 and x minus 3 is equal to 0. So x plus 2 is equal to 0 and x minus 3 is equal to 0. Then we have x is equal to minus 2, x is equal to 3. Now, once you have taken out the values of x, then you have to find out the value of the other variable, because whenever you solve simultaneous equations, you get the values of two variables, x and y. We have two variables over here. So now we will substitute in this. Y is equal to minus 2 plus 6, and if it's better if you do the working below that, the value of x. So y is equal to 4, and here y is equal to 3 plus 6, and y is equal to 9. At the end, you have to write down the answer in coordinates form. Like here you have to write minus 2 comma 4, and here it is 3 comma 9. In question number 3, you have x squared minus xy is equal to 0 and x plus y is equal to 1. Now, what happens here that you have to make the subject from one of the equation, right? So here you will be making the equation from second equation, right? And which variable you will be making the subject, whether you will be making x the subject or you will be making y the subject, that you have to decide, right? And it's better in this equation if you make y the subject, and it will become y is equal to 1 minus x, and when you will substitute it in this one, then you will be getting x squared minus xy is equal to 0. So when you will be substituting here y as 1 minus x, then it will be easy to solve, because you have here square. On x there is square. If you'll make x a subject, then you will have to do you have to apply identity to open this, right? So we'll be having x square minus x and then plus x square is equal to 0. So here we have 2x squared minus x is equal to 0. Now we are not getting a quadratic equation of the form AB ax squared plus bx plus c. We simply have two terms, and in which we have in both the terms we have x. So simply we can solve it by taking x as common. So x and then 2x minus 1 is equal to 0. So we have x is equal to 0 and 2x minus 1 is equal to 0. So we have got the values of x, and then we can find out the values of y by substituting either in this equation or in this equation, right? Because this is the equation which is taken out from this. So you can substitute in any one of the equation, but do not substitute in quadratic one, right? In which there is a square, right? So we can substitute here y is equal to 1 minus 0. So y is equal to 1. And here 2 into, we have here x is equal to 1 upon 2. And here you will be substituting 1 upon 2, y is equal to y is equal to 1 minus 1 upon. So it will be y is equal to, we have 1 and we have 1 upon 2 comma 1 upon 2. In question number 4, it is 2x plus y is equal to 7, and here you have xy is equal to 6. So in this equation, you can make y the subject in both of the equations, and then you can equate both the values, right? So this can easily be done. Then in this, you have to make either x the subject or y the subject, and then you can substitute in this equation, and then you will be able to solve it, right? Now, in question number, we have already discussed question number 5. Question number 6, the same. You can make any variable of subject and you can substitute in this, because we have x square plus y square is equal to 10 in the second equation. Okay. Then we have question number 7, in which we have y is equal to 3x and 2y square minus xy is equal to 5. So how we can solve this? We can make x the subject because we have x one time, right? But we will be getting, in that case, we will be getting a fraction, right? Because if we'll make x the subject, then it will be y upon 3. So then we can substitute here y upon 3, then we need to take out LCM. So either you do it in this way or you make y the subject and substitute over here. That will be easy. So we can do this simply by substituting the value of y here. So if we will substitute here y, then it will be 3x whole square minus x into 3x is equal to 50. So we have here 9x square, and here we have 3x square is equal to 15. So we have 18x square minus 3x square is equal to 15, and we can solve this. 18 minus 3 is 15. 15x square is equal to 15, and then we can solve it easily. X square is equal to 1 and x is equal to plus minus 1. Because when we will take square root on both sides, you have to write x is equal to plus minus 1. You have got two values of x. One is plus 1, another one is minus 1. Then you can take out the value of y. Y is equal to 3 into 1. So y is equal to 3 and x is equal to y is equal to 3 into minus 1. So we have y is equal to minus 3. So we have got two coordinates, 1 comma 3 and minus 1 comma minus 3. Okay, in question number 10, it is x plus 2y is equal to 10. And you can just make x the subject and substitute over here. You don't need to take square. You don't need to take use the identity. But in question number 9, we have here 3x plus y is equal to 1. And if you make x the subject, you will be getting the fraction. But if you will make y the subject, then it will be simply y is equal to 1 minus 3x. So आप इसमें 1 minus 3x substitute करके then you can apply the identity. So we'll be solving question number 10. We have here y is equal to 2 minus 2x and we have 3x squared minus y squared is equal to 3. Y is already a subject here and we have 2 minus 2x. We will substitute in this, and you have to be very much careful when you will be taking the square because you have to use identity over here. Do not take the square of 2 and the square of 2x. And one more thing, there is minus sign outside, so whatever you will be doing, you will be writing in the bracket 2 whole square minus 2x whole square, and then it would be 2xy, 2ab. So we have 2 here and we have 2x here. And one thing more, do not write minus sign here because this minus sign is already indicating that you have taken the minus sign because it is minus here, right? The square where you are taking the square of the terms, those to be positive, and only the term where you are multiplying it by 2 is to be negative because of this negative. So you need to be very much careful. So we have here 3x squared minus 4 plus 4x squared minus 2 to the 4, 4 to the 8, 8x, and is equal to 3. Then we will have 3x squared minus 4 minus 4x squared plus 8x minus 3 is equal to 0. So we'll be getting minus x squared and plus 8x and minus 7 is equal to 0. So we have here, if we have here this negative, we have to always try to make this x squared coefficient positive, so, okay, so that there is no chance of mistake. So if we'll make this positive, we'll be changing the signs of all the terms. So here we have x squared minus 8x plus 7. We will do the middle term breaking. 7 with the 7. So we can take minus 7x minus x plus 7 is equal to 0. So we have x minus 7 minus 1, x minus 7 is equal to 0. So we have x minus 1 and x minus 7 is equal to 0. So x is equal to 1 and x is equal to 7. So y is equal to 2 minus 2 into 1. So y is equal to 2 minus 2. So y is equal to 0. And here y is equal to 2 minus 2 into 7. So we have y is equal to 2 minus 14. So y is equal to minus 12. So we have here 1 comma 0 and 7 comma minus 12. Okay, in this question number 9, we have x plus y is equal to 2 and 2x squared plus xy plus 1 is equal to 0. In this, we can easily solve it by making y the subject. If we make y the subject, we can substitute it in the second equation. So y is equal to 2 minus x, and then we can substitute here. We can easily solve this question, right? So first step is that you have to check which from which subject, from which equation you have to make the subject and which variable. so that your calculations are easy, right? So if you make your y the subject, then you can easily solve it. Otherwise, if you make x the subject, you will be able to solve, but you will be there will be more steps needed to be done, because square means that you have to use identity. So you have to be very much careful. Okay, then because you have to save your time, you have to try to solve the questions in minimum time. Okay, we have here x plus 2y is equal to 10 and 2y square minus 7y plus x. The same is the case here. You can make either y the subject or x the subject, but it's better if you make x the subject because it has coefficient 1, and you will be getting the equation without fraction, and you have here x, you can simply substitute the value over here, that is 10 minus y, and then solve the equation easily. Okay, this question we have y is equal to 3x. You can simply substitute here y is equal to 3x, and here it can be easily solved. Then we have y is equal to 2x minus 2. This equation is also, these equations are very simple. You can substitute here the value of y. Then all these are like the in equation number 13, y plus 2x is equal y is equal to 2x plus 3. You can simply substitute the value of y here and y. At two places, you have to substitute the values. Then in this one, x minus 2y is equal to 2. You can make x the subject and you can substitute over here. It is easy to solve. Same as here, then you can, in this, you can make y the subject. In this question, you can make either y the subject or x the subject. Both will give you the same working, because we have here y square and x square. In both the equations, in both the conditions, you will need to take square. Either you make x the subject or y the subject. Here, if you will make x the subject, then you will be getting the fraction. And if you will get the fraction, it is difficult to solve the equation in which there is a fraction. It's easy if you substitute here the value of y, in which y is the subject. It's better if you use the same one. Okay, we have here y is equal to 1 minus 2x. It's the same kind of question. Y is equal to x minus 10, and then we have this whole. So this to solve, because we have y is equal to x minus 10 and we have square on it, and y is multiplying with this, right? But it will not be very much difficult, because you have to just take the square and you have to use identity over there. Okay, so these are all the same kind of questions in which you have to make either x the subject or y the subject and substitute. Okay, now we have the question 3y minus x is equal to 3 and 2 upon 3y minus 1 upon x is equal to 2. These questions are having either fractions or you have to use identities. The level of difficulty is high in these questions, right? Now, first of all, you have to see that which variable you have to make the subject, right? From which equation. We have this linear equation, and this we can say it is non-linear because it has variables in the denominator. So we need to change both the equations, because from this equation we have to make the subject, and this equation needs to be changed so that it is without fraction. So first of all, we will be changing this equation to, we will be making x the subject from here, because if we'll make y the subject, then you will be getting in the form of fraction. So we will take x on this side and 3 on this side. So it will be 3y minus 3 is equal to x. So we have here x is equal to 3y minus 3, and from this equation we have to take the LCM of denominators, right? If we take the LCM of denominators, it will be 3xy. So this would be multiplied by x, and this would be multiplied by 3y. So we have got second equation as 2x. We will do the cross multiplication after this to get rid of this fraction, because whenever there is fraction, it takes time to solve. So it will be 6xy. So we have here 6xy. Now what we'll do, we will substitute. We can name this equation as equation 3 and this equation as equation 4. This was equation 1 and this was equation 2. Now we will substitute from equation 3 x to equation 4. So when we will substitute here 3y minus 3 minus 3y is equal to 6x. We have to substitute the value of the expression for x over here. So it would be 6 into 2y minus 3 into y. Now either you write 6y over here and then write in brackets this 3y minus 3, or you write it in this way, it will be same, but you have to make sure that you are multiplying y and 6 both by this bracket. So here we have 6y minus 6 minus 3y is equal to 6y multiplied by 3y. 6 3s are 18, 18y squared, and 6 3s are 18, and then by y, so it is minus 18y. Now this will be 3y minus 6 is equal to 18y squared minus 18y. We can bring this 3y minus 6 on this side. So 3y squared minus 18y minus 3y minus 6 plus 6 is equal to 0. Then it will be 18y squared minus 21y plus 6 is equal to 0. Now all these three numbers are divisible by 3. So it's better if you take 3 as common so that you get the equation in simpler form, and then it will be easy to solve the equations, right? So minus 7y and plus 2 is equal to 0. So then when you will take 3 on that side, 0 divided by 3 will be 0. So you have equation 6y squared minus 7y plus 2. Now you have to do the middle term breaking. For this, you will be multiplying 6y squared by 2. It will be 12y squared. And you have to make the factors of 12 in such a way that when you add or subtract, you get minus 7y. So we have here minus 3y and minus 4y. When you will add these two, you will be getting minus 7y, and when you will multiply these two, you will be getting 12y squared. So 6y squared minus 3y minus 4y plus 2 is equal to 0. Then we have 3 common, 3 2s are 6, 2y minus 3y is to be taken as common. 3y and then 2y minus 1, and here plus 2 is to be taken as common, minus 2y is to be taken as common, because we have here minus sign and we have to make sure that the bracket is coming same. So minus 2y is taken as common, and here 2 is to be taken as common. So 2y minus 2 is equal to 0. So we have 3y minus 2 and we have 2y minus 2 is equal to 0. So we have 3y minus 2 is equal to 0 and 2y minus 2 is equal to 0.
Have taken -2 outside, so हमारे पास तो -1 बचेगा ना बाहर, in the bracket, sorry.
Yes, yes, that has. 2y minus 1, then only both the brackets would be same, right? So 2y minus 1 is equal to 0. So we have y is equal to 2 upon 3 and y is equal to 1 upon 2. And then we will take out the value of x. So we can substitute, okay, for x, I'm doing working over here. X is equal to 3y minus 3. So x is equal to 3 into 2 upon 3 minus 3. Now, whenever you have fraction, if it can be cancelled out, it's better to cancel it out over here. Then your working will be easy. So 2 minus 3, it will be minus 1. So you have to do your working very smartly, right? So x is equal to 3 into 1 upon 2 minus 3. So it will be 3 upon 2 minus 3. So it will be 3 minus 6 upon 2. So it will be minus 3 upon 2,
Minus 3 divided by 2.
right? And then you will be writing the fraction, the answer. Then you have to write here minus 1 comma 2 upon 3, and here it would be minus 3 upon 2 comma 1 upon 2. You have to write always x values first and then y values. And if you will not take care of this, then you will be writing the wrong coordinate. So you have to make sure that you are writing correctly. In question number 2, it is the same kind of question. You have to make y the subject, and then it will be minus 2x, and then you have to change the second equation. You have to take out the LCM. You have to solve in the same way. 3 is also the same kind of question. In this question number 3, you can make any variable the subject, either x or the y, right? And then you can solve it. And second equation is also to be changed. You have to take out the LCM and you have to try to get rid of this fraction so that you can easily solve. Question number 4 can also be easily solved. This is 3x minus y is equal to 2 and 2x upon y plus y upon x is equal to 3. So in the same way you have to do, you have to make y the subject from here because you will be getting without fraction. And here also you can do it easily. Question number 5, uh, it is also the same kind of question, and this can be done without taking out the LCM because we don't have variable in the denominator. So this can also be easily solved. Let's move on to the next question. Here, okay, we have here question number the 6, right? In question number 6, we have, this is a little bit tricky question because in which in this we have here 3x plus 2y is equal to 10. And either we'll make x the subject or y the subject. In both the cases, we will be getting fraction. So here you need to be very much careful, right? If we have 3x plus 2y is equal to 10, so first of all, we will be making either y the subject or x the subject from this. And whenever you have the choice that whether you have to make x the subject or y the subject, then it's better if you make y the subject because in that way you will be getting the values of x first. So we are making y the subject. So 2y is equal to 10 minus 3x and y is equal to 10 minus 3x upon 2, right? So we have got this. This is equation 1 and this is equation 2. We have got this as equation 3. Now we will be, for this, we have to take the LCM, right? If we'll take LCM x and y, so we will be getting this 3y plus 2x is equal to 5. So our final equation would be 3y plus 2x is equal to 5x. So this is equation number 4. Now we have to substitute this equation 3 to equation 4. We have here 10 minus 3x upon 2 plus 2x is equal to 5x, and then y, that is 10 minus 3x upon 2. We have here 30 minus 9x upon 2 plus 2x, and here um, 50x minus 15x squared upon 2. Now we have to make denominators same, right? So what we can do, we can multiply this by 2, both the numerators and denominators. So we will be having here 30 minus 9x upon 2 plus 2x, 4x upon 2, because we have to multiply both numerator and denominator. Or you can simply say that you are taking out LCM. You can write this both as LCM of both. So if you have taken out LCM, you have to multiply this by 2 and this also by 2. So it is 4x, 50 minus 15x squared upon 2. Now one thing, uh, when we have 2 in the denominator, on both the sides, it is a single denominator, and same we can simply cancel out. Because if we'll take 2 on this side, this 2 and this 2 will be cancelled out. Or if we'll take this 2 on that side, the 2 and 2 will be cancelled out. So simply we can cancel out these 2. So now we have here 30 minus 5x is equal to 50 minus 15x squared, right? And then we will bring this 15x squared on this side. So 15x squared minus 5x, and then 30 minus 50 would be minus 20 is equal to 0. So we have all the numbers which can be divisible by 5. So if we'll divide by 5, so it will be 5x, 5 3s are 15, and 5 1s are 5, and 5 4s are 20. So it will be 3x squared minus x and minus 4. So we have here, when we will do that middle term breaking, it would be 12x square, and you'll multiply 3x square by minus 4, it will be minus 12x square. And if you will make the factors, it will be minus 4x and 3x, because here the answer is minus x. So we can write here 3x square minus 4x minus 3x. If we write minus 3x first, and it will be easy to solve. Minus 3 plus 3x minus 4x and minus 4. So we'll be having 3x as common, x plus 1 minus 4 is common, and it will be x plus 1. So we have 2x minus 4, and we have x plus 1. Now we have got two values, 3x is equal to 4 and x is equal to 4 upon 3 and x plus 1 is equal to 0 and x is equal to minus 1. So we have got minus 1 and 4 upon 3. And then we will take out the values of y. Y is equal to, we have 10 minus 3x upon 2. So we have y is equal to, if we write it instead of writing in fraction, if we write it here 4 upon 3 and then divided by 2, it will be easy to solve. Y is equal to 3 and 3 will be cancelled out. So 10 minus 4 is 6. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So y is equal to 3. And then we have, when we have x is equal to minus 1, I'm doing the working over here. Y is equal to 10 minus 3 into minus 1 upon 3. So y is equal to 10 minus 10 plus 3 upon 3. So it would be 13 upon 3. So we have here 4 upon 3, comma 3, and we have minus 1, comma 13 upon 3. Okay, let's move on to the next question. We have 3 plus xy is equal to 0. We have here, we can make x the subject and we can substitute over here, right? No, we can make, we have to make the subject from second equation and then we have to substitute over here. You will be getting the equation in the form of fraction.